Hello everyone, my name is Asaruka Yamamoto and today I'm playing World of Warships. Particularly I'm playing the Midway Tier 10 American aircraft carrier in the ranked battle mode. Now, as many of you may or may not know, the ranked battles are going to be changed up a bit. What it currently works like is you play in a certain format. Right now it's I think 8. I have to actually count that. 8 versus 8 tier 10 ships. Sometimes carriers are allowed, sometimes they aren't, and right now it's in tier 10. And the winning team progresses a bit while the losing team is actually set back a bit. And in that way the idea is if you win a lot then supposedly you'd be a better player, and eventually you'll rank up through the ranks, getting all sorts of rewards and stuff. And this is a, well, I can genuinely say fairly disputed system, mainly because winning doesn't always indicate skill. Yeah, you know, you can have a very good battle and still lose, and you can have 20 very good battles and lose most of them, simply because your team isn't doing good or because you're having some bad luck. And if we look at the battle right now, I can even say, you know, I'm a decent aircraft carrier player. I'm not that great in midway, to be honest. But if I look at the current layout, we have 2 anti-air destroyers, then 2 Smolensk, which are very heavy on the anti-air. Montana, pretty chunky AA, a Kremlin, very heavy AA, and only the Yamato is actually a proper target for me to engage with. Anything really. And of course if these targets are alone then it's somewhat okay, but in general this is a very hard battle for me to fight. So whether or not I'll be doing good here and whether or not we win isn't so much up to me here, but more up to my team and of course the enemy team, because, well, the enemy took certain ships and if they play them well, if they counter the enemy team well, or our team, or for them the enemy team, yeah, then I'm going to have a hard time influencing this battle. And that's what I personally don't like about ranked. It suggests that it takes player skill into account, but in my opinion it doesn't really. Terrible drop there from my dive bombers twice actually. I gave a bit too little lead on the first, but luckily our Kremlin actually finishes off the Khabarovsk. Now the proposed changes to this ranked battle system are actually that once you make it past a certain benchmark point, a certain milestone, you will move up a league. So you no longer play in the same group of people, and right now there's some sort of system like that. But in addition, once you are in that group, you won't be able to fall back to any previous group. I think that's, yeah, it sounds like a promising system, because what it may result in is that players who are a bit more dedicated in ranked, who do win a fair bit, will move up quite quickly to the higher ranks, to the higher leagues, where they will fight each other, and you won't be too much left with players that, well, disrupt your battle because they aren't actually all that well suited for ranked battle gameplay. The problem is, however, with that system that it still relies on ranking through wins. So it doesn't say anything about how you are playing as a player. And in this particular battle, I can be quite happy with that because, well, let's face it, I haven't done anything here yet. I've done a bit of spotting, but very marginally. But our team is doing very well. The enemy team definitely is not doing well. Um, so for me, it looks very good in this particular battle that the system runs by wins and not by personal ranking, by experience or whatever. But in general, I much more favor if people would, if the rank system would actually work through at least more through what people actually contribute to a battle. I've had a lot of battles in cruisers and battleships where I've basically carried the entire team. Yeah, then I get a point, but so does our AFK ship or a destroyer that died after 2 minutes. And you could say, yeah, well, but it's a team effort. And that would be the case if we're talking about something like clan battles. But the thing with rank battles is it isn't supposed to be a team effort. It's supposed to come down to how you play as a player, and not so much to the team. So if I do very well here, I should be rewarded for that even if we lose, and if I do quite terrible here, I should be punished for that even if we win. And in this battle so far I've done pretty bad, and in my opinion I do not deserve to get a star for this. I don't deserve a sticker, I don't deserve a lolly, and if I feel okay, but this is down to using an aircraft carrier, then I should just learn from that and take a different ship next time. And I'm quite serious about that. If I can't make an aircraft carrier work in this battle mode, then I shouldn't take an aircraft carrier. I'm currently taking it because of a spotting mission for the Anchorage event. Otherwise, I wouldn't be taking this in the first place. But I'm trying if that works more or less, and it doesn't seem to work. So trying to blind the Smolensk there. Unfortunately, I miss him. Yeah, so really our team won this battle easily. I rank up a bit, or at least 1 star. Do I deserve it? No. But then if we look at the next battle, things are a bit different. So let's have a look. Just a quick addition here, you can actually see that, I didn't do any significant damage. I did really poorly within our team. And if we look on the enemy team, the Smolensk, Smolensk, have probably done a lot more than I have, and even the Montana Kremlin. I don't think the Audacious has necessarily done more, but I'd have to see that on a direct comparison basis. Of course, in this case, it is quite clear that I have more right, basically, probably, than to promote than the Khabarovs. But the Smolensk on the enemy team, I feel like he probably has more right to advance than I do, and definitely the Smolensk. And the Kremlin, yeah, the Kremlin gets rewarded the exact same for this battle as I do, while the Kremlin has nearly twice my XP, 3 kills, beautiful kill on the Khabarov there in the early game, a lot of pushing, and I'm just sitting back doing nothing, so yeah, this system is really unfair. The enemy Smolensk keeps its star, but it's probably not contributed anything significant to the team, just damage, spamming, and that's all. The enemy Smolensk may have had a way more intensive battle, but he actually loses his star. What I think should be done is something more like, okay, gain 5 stars, gain 3 stars, gain 3 maybe even 0 stars in the bottom here, but differences in the amount of stars, and maybe even gain some stars in the top losers section, and just lose a whole bunch of stars when you're doing as poorly as the Gabelovs did, because honestly he did absolute trash, and you should be yeah, if you're set back several ranks for that, that should be fine in my opinion. And even if I were to lose ranks in this battle, that would be fine with me, because I did very poor. And that would also allow to heavily punish players who are AFK in ranked, and I think that's really important. When you're AFK in a ranked battle, you heavily penalize your team. I think you should just, yeah, when you are AFK, you should basically take all of the losses for your team. And right now, yeah, your team can be trying very hard, but then if you are AFK, they are just down one man, and yeah, you lose 1 star, but so does the rest of your team, because you gave them an unfair chance. But of course, what's more interesting is what does this look like when you do actually contribute something to the team. So let's have a look at that. So I'm just here back in the ranked battles game mode, this time with the Moskva tier 10 yeah, reward cruiser, Russian cruiser. And this used to be the standard Russian tier 10 cruiser before the Russian cruiser split. And I'm gonna have a look here to see if I can actually do some proper damage. Haven't done too much so far, we're just picking up some buffs, since this is an arms race mode. I think it's really cool to see that in ranked they do arms race mode now, and it's not only arms race, so you're not guaranteed to get the arms race, but it's a possibility, and I think that's a very cool concept. Oof, I'm shooting at a broadside Petropavlovsk there, and unfortunately I'm just absolutely not able to damage him. Okay, never mind that. I am able to damage him, just not on the very first salvo. And we can see if we, yeah, I can keep chunking a bit of his HP away, maybe get another citadel on him. That ship is very hard to citadel, but well, first of all you gotta hit it, of course, so that seems like a bit of a requirement right there. The salvo looks a lot better. Oh yeah, that's a juicy salvo right there. I don't know what these torpedoes are, but it would seem to me as though the Yoshino is launching torpedoes. Bit weird, especially so close to me, but we've dealt some serious damage to this battle Pavlovsk, and normally it's quite nice to deal actual citadel damage, since citadel damage is irreparable. However, in this arms race mode, when heal buffs show up, you can actually repair citadel damage. That will simply heal your health back up to 100%. We do not have any heal buffs so far, but basically this is a very dangerous ship, the Petropavlovsk, and I would gladly get it out of the way before it can properly heal anything. I'm really not liking the Yoshino's topping style because he's getting very close to me. But it looks as though he's paying more attention than I initially thought. Raking up some nice damage, nearly 50k damage to the Petropavlovsk while taking minimal damage myself. But unfortunately right now we don't really have anything within range. Can't really see anything. I'd like to push down south, and I think I can do that because the Moskva is quite tanky. But we've got to be a bit wary there, so let's try. Had a minor disruption there with my video software, but it should be solved now. We're still just pushing down south. The team isn't picking up the buffs too quickly. I'm hoping our Hayata can maybe make its way to the middle, but of course he shouldn't risk too much to get that done. I think if he goes to this buff, he'll get caught in between the Daring and Smallland, which would be quite dangerous. The Smallland is turned away actually, but the Daring is still around there. Where is he? Around here. So let's see if we can hit the Daring. The ballistics on these Moskva shells are really quite good. We might be able to hit them at this range. Oh, juicy hit there. Not too much damage, but he didn't have too much HP, so then you don't need the damage. Bit of a steal, but yeah. On a Kremlin angled like this, I want to be shooting high explosive. The Moscow high explosive is nothing special really, not all that exciting. But with armor piercing, I'm simply not gonna deal any damage, and if I can burn the Kremlin down a bit, it would be nice. Now, I don't really like that the Kremlin is shooting at me, because that might really hurt me. So if we can lure him into missing me, that would be great. Especially since the mission that I'm currently doing is for potential damage, so anything that gets shot at me but misses is pretty great. So the counter here is ticking up slowly. That's good, but of course I don't really want to play on this mission right now. I just want to play for winning the battle. We didn't manage to take the heal buff. I had hoped the Hayata would maybe get the heal buff. So far no such luck, and I think the enemy team will probably get it. Really being shelled down by the Petropavlovs from behind the island somewhere over there. The Kremlin is just shooting at our front. Quite a dangerous position here, but if I can reach the island, I should be in a much safer position, hidden away from the Kremlin and possibly out of sight from the Petro as well. Ooh, the Petro, I'd hope the Petro would be broadside, couldn't really see it. But he really isn't. Enemy Burgonya goes down, that should help our team a lot. That's pretty good. And now what I'd like to do is see if I can take some shots at the Smallland, or actually the Smolensk, because the Smolensk is sitting there absolutely beautifully. Let's hope to citadel him a bit, but not too much luck on that front yet. I think in this salvo maybe? Nope. That's the thing with a Smolensk, you just overpen them so easily, and it's really quite ridiculous. The armor scheme of the Smolensk is strong because it's got absolutely trash armor, it's quite notorious for that, and it's really quite annoying. Even when it's angled like this, apparently I'm still not properly banning it, and yeah. I should really fix that. They've tried fixing it, but it never really works. Just gonna load some high explosive now. Oh yeah, there we go. The Smolensk sets me on fire. Let me throw my radar. There we go. See if we can hurt the Smallland a bit. It's a pretty hard hit on the Smallland there, but unfortunately the Kremlin was still sitting in the very same position, was easily able to shoot me down. So in this battle, yeah, it really seems like we're probably gonna lose. And I'll get back to you with the results. And I'd argue that in this battle, my positioning was a lot better. I've been playing a lot more for the team, a lot more useful than in previous battle. In previous battle, I actually promoted a star, and I bet you I'm gonna demote a star. But I'll be back to you with the results in a bit. So I'm back with the results here, and yeah, obviously we lost this battle. I would say that I kind of tried. Doing some serious work on the enemy Petropavlovsk, killing, I don't know what it was, I think a destroyer, yeah, the enemy daring, taking some chunks of some other ships, but unfortunately I got second on the team, and with that I actually get demoted, and yeah, honestly I think this is just not exactly fair. You know, I got promoted last battle because I won, and this battle I get demoted because I lost. Well, if you call this system a ranked system, I don't really know why you would really call it a ranked system. It's just looking at wins and losses, but um, honestly, I think we can all agree that I played a lot more tactfully in this battle, a lot more effective for the team, and sure enough, I made some mistakes. But it's kind of shitty to demote me for this battle while promoting me for the battle in the midway there. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to the changes in ranked, but I'm highly skeptical of if it's gonna be enough. I think it's just gonna be a quality of life improvement, but it's definitely not going to be the overhaul that we are looking for. Namely, the overhaul where we're actually going to be looking at what people do in a match rather than whether you win or lose a lot. After all, people have winning streaks, people have losing streaks, and if we're gonna dictate ranked by that, yeah, I think that's a very bad system. People have suggested introducing stuff like elo ratings and everything like that, and I think that would be a much better option to go towards something like that. So that's my thoughts on this topics. As usual, let me know in the comments below what you guys think, and I hope you enjoyed. And then I will see you all around.